This is the winter mistake that quietly ruins batteries. And the scary part is, people do it while trying to be responsible. They bring a power station in from a cold car, garage, balcony, or shed. They plug it in immediately, and they slowly damage the battery without noticing. Just let that sink in for a moment. So today I'll give you one rule that saves your investment, plus a calm winter routine you can follow every single time. Here's the one rule, and once you know it, you won't forget it. Don't charge a cold battery. You have to warm it up first. Now please say it with me. Don't charge cold. Warm up first, then charge. In plain English, lithium batteries don't like being charged when they're very cold. Charging at low temperatures puts stress on the battery's internal chemistry. And that stress, repeated over time, reduces long-term battery health and capacity. It's not one charge that breaks it. It's a habit all winter that quietly costs you. So if your power station has been sitting outside in a cold vehicle, on a balcony, or in an unheated space, don't plug it in the second you walk through the door. The first step is to bring it inside. Let it acclimate to room temperature, and only after that you can safely charge. That's the whole rule, 3 steps every time. Now the question I know you're already asking, how long do I actually have to wait? The honest answer is, it depends on how cold it got. And the good news is, you don't need a thermometer to figure it out. Here's the touch test. Pick up the unit and hold your hand flat against the casing. If it feels noticeably cold, like a drink from the fridge, it's not ready. If it feels close to room temperature or neutral to the touch, you're good to charge. In practice, what does that look like? If the unit was in a cold car for an hour or two, 30 minutes to an hour indoors is usually enough. If it was outside or in an unheated space overnight, give it 1 to 2 hours, maybe more. It's important that you don't rush it. If it sat in sub-zero conditions for many hours, 2 hours minimum, touch test before you plug in. And during the wait, leave it somewhere dry and stable, not on top of a radiator, not near a heat vent, just a normal indoor surface, room temperature, out of the way. That's the whole warm-up plan. No gadgets, no guesswork. Just your hand, a bit of time, and the rule. You don't need to understand battery chemistry to benefit from this rule. But it helps to know one thing. Cold changes how batteries behave, not in a small, forgettable way, in ways that matter over a season of use. And charging is the moment when a battery is most sensitive. It's actively taking in energy, managing heat, and balancing cells. Do that repeatedly under cold stress, and the battery's capacity quietly degrades. You might not notice it in week 1, but over a winter of this habit, you might find your power station holding less charge than it used to, and that right there is the real cost. And here's why it's worth caring about. Power stations are not cheap. If you spent a few $100s or more on yours, it deserves the same basic respect you'd give any other investment. One habit, one rule, that's the protection. Now let's turn the rule into a routine you can follow without thinking. 5 steps. Step 1. Store indoors when you can. Room temperature is your battery's happy place. Not next to a heater, not in a damp corner, not on cold concrete. Just stable, dry indoor temperature. If it lives there all winter, you've already solved most of the problem. Step 2. If it was cold, give it time. If it feels cold to the touch, it's not ready to charge. Let it sit on a dry indoor surface and warm up naturally. Use the touch test from Scene 2. No shortcuts, no rushing the warmth with a heater or hairdryer. It simply takes a little bit of time. Step 3, charge after warm-up. Once it's at room temperature, then plug it in. If your unit has a slower or gentler charging mode, winter is the perfect time to use it. Lower charge rates are kinder to lithium chemistry, especially coming out of the cold. Step 4, keep a healthy buffer. Don't store your battery at 0% for weeks. That stresses the chemistry just as much as cold charging. Aim for a stable, ready range. Something like 40 to 80% is often recommended. Check your manufacturer's guidance for your specific unit. Step 5, keep it dry and ventilated. Moisture and condensation are real risks in winter. Avoid damp basements and wet corners. And make sure there's airflow around the unit when it's charging. Heat management matters. Don't box it in. Here's an important distinction that trips people up. Using a battery in the cold is not the same as charging it in the cold. Using your power station outdoors in winter for camping during an outage or on a job site can be okay, but you should definitely expect reduced performance in these conditions. When lithium batteries are cold, they deliver less usable capacity. You might get 60 or 70% of what you'd normally get indoors. That's not a defect. That's how lithium chemistry works in the cold. It's normal. Just plan for it. Charging it while it's cold, that's where the risk is. That's the habit we're protecting against. So if you do need to use it outdoors in winter, here are 3 simple things that help. Keep it off freezing ground. A mat, a folded blanket, a wooden board, anything that puts a layer between the unit and the cold surface. Cold concrete conducts temperature fast. Shield it from direct wind. Tuck it behind something, inside a bag, or in a sheltered spot. Wind accelerates heat loss and adds stress to the casing and internals. Keep it slightly insulated if possible. A simple padded bag or carry case makes a real difference in cold field use. And when you're done, bring it inside before you charge it. Back to the rule, always, a few quick transport tips that will save you headaches this winter. If your power station rode in a cold trunk for an hour or more, assume it's cold. You can't always feel it through the casing, but the cells inside cooled down. Bring it inside, let it warm up, then charge. If it sat overnight in a freezing vehicle, same rule, but give it more time. A battery that spent a night in sub-zero conditions needs a proper warm-up before any charging happens. If you're traveling, camping, a winter cabin, road trips, plan your charging around available warmth. Charge indoors, inside the cabin, inside the car with the heat on, anywhere meaningfully warmer than outside. And if you're on a longer trip, keep it inside the vehicle cabin during transit, not in the trunk. The cabin stays warmer. Small habit, real difference. One more thing worth saying, if you're camping in winter and the overnight temperature drops significantly, bring the power station inside the tent or sleeping area. Not outside in the vestibule, not in a cold car. Warmth protects the cells, and protected cells protect your morning charge. This isn't about being fearful of your gear. It's about building habits that protect expensive equipment, the same way you'd protect any other tool you rely on. Treat it well, it'll last longer. Quick recap. Here are the 5 winter mistakes that quietly damage your battery. Mistake 1, charging immediately after it sat outside in the cold. You know the rule now. Don't do this. Mistake 2, leaving it in a freezing car overnight. Bring it inside, or at minimum, keep it in the cabin during the day. Mistake 3, storing it at empty for long periods. 0% is not a resting state. It's a stress state. Keep a charge in it even if you're not actively using it. Mistake 4, storing it in a damp or wet area. Moisture and electronics are not friends. Winter condensation makes this worse. Mistake 5, blocking the vents while charging. Heat needs somewhere to go. Don't stack things on top of it. Don't charge it inside a bag or case. Let it breathe. 5 mistakes. Easy to avoid once you know them. And if you've been doing 1 or 2 of these, now you know. That's what this is for. Now, one final thought before the wrap. Everything we've covered today is framed around winter. But the truth is, this habit serves you year-round. Extreme heat is also hard on lithium batteries. Charging a power station that's been sitting in a hot car in summer has similar risks on the other end of the temperature scale. Same rule applies. Let it cool down to room temperature before you charge. When you take care of a lithium battery consistently, you extend its total lifespan, you preserve its maximum capacity, and you protect an investment that's supposed to serve you for years, not just one season. This is the kind of habit that costs you nothing. Just a little patience and awareness, and quietly pays you back every time you pick up that power station and it still holds a full charge. So the rule is simple, and it's worth repeating one last time. Don't charge cold. Warm up first, then charge. That's what protects your battery across a whole winter of use, and honestly, across every season. Use the touch test. Give it time. Keep it dry and ventilated, and store it with a healthy charge. not at 0. Those 5 habits together are everything. No gadgets, no special equipment, just awareness and a little patience. Protect your battery, protect your money, and stay warm out there. I'm Alma, smart energy, no drama. See you next time.